Good morning, everyone. This is Anthony, Wall Street Trader. It's 10:11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday, August 17, 2021, and we're here to talk about the graph. This is not financial advice. The video is intended for educational purposes only. Click the subscribe, click the bell, but click the like button and share it, because I think the more folks that are aware of it, I think it stands to benefit us all in terms of the greatness of the graph. There's an Intraday Updates link below the video in the description. Click on it and subscribe to my intraday tweets. So let's just take a quick pause and reflect. My current position in the graph on an average cost basis, what I've bought it for, is 81.4 cents. Now I've done it across a bunch of different entry points here. Now there's dollar cost averaging, there's value cost averaging, and there's all other types of averaging that methodologies that they have out there. Now, for myself, I am more of a value cost averaging, meaning I only buy it when I feel like it's momentarily at a spot where I think it makes sense. And if you've been watching this, you've been noticing that that's when I actually wind up buying it, when I feel like the price is in the right spot, right? There are times I've bought it higher, there are times I've bought it cheaper. And these are the allocations on the right. So if I had $100 in the beginning of time, I put $10 at 117, I put $10 at 107, I put $20 on 78 cents, I put $20 on 68 cents, $20 on 76 cents, and $20 on 73 cents. That's how you have to think about it. Figure out what you want to risk, put it in a little box, and say, this I'm not gonna buy it all at once. I'm not gonna use all the money in this box at once. I'm gonna place it at certain points in time, because I know that cryptos are fairly volatile. And this goes for stocks, this goes for any kind of investment you do, generally speaking. So anyway, 81 cents is my average cost basis. And let's go take a look at the market. So right now, the graph US dollar is at 97.21. And I've just drawn this channel over here so everyone can see and play along. But back in July, since the last video, we had already broken out. So we were already out here somewhere. And we only had the bottom line here. This was the trend. And as I mentioned, the trend is your friend until it's broken. Well, it hasn't broken the bottom support line. So we have to continue to watch or continue to wait and see, because what's happening here is, we hit this new top area here, which I would consider resistance, starting back here as well. So as you can see, we went from July 21st to now. This resistance line is certainly looking like an area where we need to forge through it. Otherwise, we could be in for a choppy pattern on the way up. I'm not trying to be bearish here one iota. I just want everyone to be aware of it. Expect some volatility along the way. Now, taking a bigger look at where this thing could go. Now, if we did break up, or if we continued trekking through this pattern, the next area of support would be in the 120, 122 range, where we could start to see a little bit of resistance there. Now we're at 97 cents at this point, so we got like 20-something% further headroom before we start thinking about the next big resistance area. But right now, the very short-term resistance is this line, but this line continues to creep up. So resistance, that is a variable, right? Through time, this orange resistance line gets higher and higher. So that's good for us, right? We're in a rising trend here. So, all guns in motion. So let's go take a look at the graph relative to Bitcoin. This has been the big changer since the last video. Since the last video, we were down in here. I think I did the last video on the 11th or the 10th. We were in this triangle, which had been started since February of this year. This resistance line is now support. As soon as it broke it, we broke it well. And notice how we stayed above it. Staying above it makes all the difference in the world. If sometimes you get these little fake outs, you could see the little, if you can, zoom in, you can see the little wicks kind of peeping through. This is a proper breakout, folks. This is several days in the making. We are above it. I consider this a reversal pattern. Now, going over to the Bitcoin US dollar pair, which I consider is definitely hitting a little bit of resistance here. Now, this is a wedge, which I tweeted out yesterday and this morning. This wedge here is a bearish wedge. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that all wedges that are upward facing are bearish. It just, generally speaking, which is slightly more odds that it's bearish than it's bullish. So we have to consider that in our overall thought process around, the entry exit strategy when it comes to any of the cryptos that we're covering. Now, if you look here, this is the resistance line starting from July all the way to here. Now, if it breaks, it probably will break sooner. I could see us coming down to the 42,000 range, which I think may be over for it, may continue to chop a bit. It's hard to say, but right now this looks slightly bearish to me. But where I'm not bearish on altcoin or the graph is this. This looks even more bearish. This is the Bitcoin dominance pair. This is exactly what we're seeing, which means that as Bitcoin dominance goes down, that means altcoin relative to Bitcoin is stronger. So it means it either means altcoins don't go down as much as Bitcoin, or altcoins are actually going up while Bitcoin is doing its thing. So I think in general, this is a very well understood pattern. It always felt bearish here, and we should continue. As I mentioned several times, going into this triangle in a downward action like that, from all the way up here to all the way down there, and then kind of winding up, and then we start coming back down. This is great if you own altcoins. This is also great if you own Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin long term is great as well. It's just a relative factor to the altcoin market, the Bitcoin's performance relative to the altcoin market. They still can both go up and enjoy a healthy ride no matter what this chart does. Okay, so a couple of other things I just want to point out. One thing that I think, I'm going to paste this down there, I think in the description. I think it's important for everyone to know the adoption on the graph is clear. It's live. People are using it, and we see real companies such that we can see how these subgraphs are starting to proliferate. And it's for everyone to kind of do their own due diligence on this. But when it comes to cryptocurrencies, I think the graph does a remarkable job around marketing, around ensuring, like, the number one success for any altcoin utility company, such as the graph or any other company, is their capability of marketing. If you don't have your marketing, then you're not going to get the adoption as much. There are hidden gems out there, like, other ones that I cover. But this company, in my opinion, has the best marketing capability as well as the best management team to help drive the adoption. Hiring specialists is a great idea, and that's what they've done with Streaming Fast. I fully anticipate this. This is one company I am very, very comfortable with in the altcoin space. I think the utility of this thing is astronomical. Anyway, click the thumbs up. Let's get this. Let's get the excitement of the graph out there so that people